It's days like this where I wish I had like 4 monitors. What's going on, guys? We're heading up the Division 4 East draft today. Super pumped. If you hopefully we get some view. I scheduled the stream really late, so if the viewership is down on this one, I apologize. But good to see you guys. I also hold on. If there's a delay, I might just kill. No, I want to make sure there's a delay. Hold on. Okay, it doesn't look like there's a delay, which is fine. We can just run it. So a minute 50 to go. We've got Arbor Matheson, Stud Muffin, Huckleheads, Ya's official team, Deacon Blues, Chadlick, Ruin a Canuck of Coffee, Per the Panthers FPPL, Luke's Legit Team, Sharky, Rink Rats, Habibi. What's up, guys? Butter churners, it's not Mike. It's not Mike. What's up, Dan? How are you, man? We got the FPPL Division 4 Southeast draft. 47 seconds to go on the clock. Can everybody see everything okay? We're good. Last FPPL draft, guys. Last one. Which waiver ads went through? So nothing. Sorry, I'll kill the draft sound. Nothing's went through in terms of my waiver ads for the Creators League yet. I put in a claim for Bennett, and then I believe it was also Lane Hudson. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'll let you guys know where I'm at. Good luck, everybody. We see the pretty generic top 4 go off the board of McDavid, McKinnon, Matthews, Pasta, and Dry at the 5. So you should see Kucherov go here at the 6. It's a pretty much an auto pick, in my opinion. Makar over Kucherov. I don't know if I like that one at all. That is insane. It also appears that Panthers is auto-drafting. So this will be fun. Yossi at 8 is also ridiculous. But again, if he's auto-drafting, then, you know, you can't really do much. Rantanen at 9 makes the most sense to me. Guys, it's not Sven. It's Chris. Ashen, big fan of you supporting the channel, man. Thank you. How awesome is Jack Quinn going to be this year? I'm super pumped for him. I haven't got to him in a lot of drafts. So I'm hoping that I get to more to him. He's pretty much like a lottery pick late in your drafts, so you know you're good with whatever. But I'm like him. I'm excited for him. I think he's a very talented player. Somebody see Kaprizov and Matthew Tkachuk go. Again, that seems to be the generic thing. So Habibi should, because there's no Yossi at the turn, he should go Brady into Jack Hughes here and just laugh. Nice craft last night. Yeah, what did you guys think of my draft if you guys actually did end up seeing it? What did you guys think? Yeah, the Makar over Kush thing is interesting. Did I recover from the pick reversal last night? It was definitely an interesting play. Didn't see that one coming at all. My buddy Jeremy would take Kucherov over McDavid. I'd love to play in a league with him. It's definitely been a fun start. Wow. Okay, so Jack Hughes is still available, guys, which is wild. I would be jumping all over that if I was one of these managers. I've never transparently seen him go this late. This is insane. Finally, Sharky ends up getting Kaprizov and Jack Hughes. That is an ideal start. He's in the league. Makar slipped to 15th in my IRL draft last night. It was nuts. Yeah, dude. Like, FPPL guys are just so high on defensemen. It's actually crazy. Like, you saw in the Creators League, if you guys watched last night, that, like, it's just, like, no one is reaching on defensemen that much. It's only in these leagues for whatever reason. People get scared that they go on a run, and then they just are drafting guys like 3-4 rounds in advance. It's actually crazy. Igor. Yeah, I fear this guy. I fear this guy's auto drafting, which sucks. But hey, you've known well in advance at this point. Like, there's really just no excuse. JT Miller's a great pick. Love that. Willie, again, Makar Willie's a great start. Leon Petty's a great start. Past to Panarin. He got injured. I'm not 100% sure on what his situation is, to be honest. Austin Philip Forsberg is an insane start as well. That's a lot of shot volume. You killed it. So many good players fell to you. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate that. Do you like Fantilli or McTavish more in a Bangers Cats league with Pims? With Pims, McTavish. Dalim before Yossi. No, Yossi for me first. I don't know about the Swayman pick, but it could be a league winner. Overall, great job. Appreciate that, Doom. It was curious. It was so curious to, if you guys ever like listen to other people's perspectives. Like, I went back and I watched Nate's draft from Apples and Genos, and he was just like ripping on people's picks that it was just like not on par with his projections. Like, he had Uyghur really high because of the scoring. I don't know. Like, I'm curious. Like, I don't know if he's strictly going based off his projections or if it's like his opinion mixed into them. But I was curious to see what he had to say. What's going on, Dalton? How are you, man? In a hometown 10-man league, I got Jack Hughes at the 13, Tage at 33rd, and Bedard at 68. That's insane, Breezy. You think that guy's auto drafting with a Q? Yeah, I think so. Lost ones, to be honest. Like, Yossi into Igor is crazy, and he's blatantly shown as being auto drafting. But let's get back into it. So McDavid, Gensel, Marner's a great start. Stud Muffin picks up Hedman. Puckheads gets Noah Dobson, which is fine there after Hedman. I'm good with that. If you want a defenseman, Yaz goes Braden Point. Deacon goes Adam Fox. And then Chadlick should take a forward here. Keep Sagan or take a third goalie. Currently have Thompson and Fedotov, excuse me. I'd probably want a third goalie, actually. It's probably a deep league. Miller at that spot is a steal. Yep. Kucherov, Miller start as wild. Yep. So Timo Meier. Yep. As to be expected. We see Tage finally go off the board. That's pretty late for Tage. I would have taken Tage well before guys like Gensel, Marner. Marner probably not, just because he's a little bit safer. But it's like I would have taken Tage before Meier and Point, I think. Meier, it's close, actually. Point for sure. It's because of the shot volume. Yeah, unfortunately, Panthers is auto drafting to like 2 goalies, no forwards at this point is ridiculous. Sam Reinhart that late is a really good value. Josh Morrissey, like that's a good pick for your D1. Hyman falls actually round 3. That's interesting. So who does that baby go with here? Which side wins in the standard format? Cat head-to-head. Dobson, Carlson, Binnington for Gensel Kopitar. I like the Dobson, Carlson, Binnington side. Where do you see Van Tilly's career ceiling? Does he have a chance to be an elite player? Yes. Yes. Boomtown, he's going to be a superstar in the league. He absolutely will be. Hypes, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Made a move in FPPL that was more about positional balance. How do you feel about it? I acquired Crosby Letang for Brat Wierenski. They'll have Dougie Darlene on D. Acquired Crosby Letang for Brat Wierenski. I think it's pretty even. I think I like Crosby over Brat. Letang and Wierenski are pretty close. So I'm fine with that, Dalton. Didn't Apples and Genos win the Creators League last night? Yeah, Nate from Apples and Genos won. There were 2 people. Like, Josh is in it as well. Kyle Connor's a great pick there. Dougie Hamilton's a great second defenseman to have if you didn't end up getting an elite one. I like that pivot because Sharksy has Kaprizov, Quinn, or Jack Hughes, so he can afford to go double goalie here. Eichel's a great pick round 4. Even if that's an auto draft, like it's not the worst start I've seen because you have 2 elite goalies and an elite defenseman and an elite forward. But Dart I really like in that spot because you don't have a center yet, so I'm good with taking him there. Strong start for Bruin. Yeah, I like Bruin's team with Cooch, Miller, Tage to start, and then you get McAvoy. Like that's solid. How are we feeling about Silos versus Corpusalo? Both likely start. I think Silos has more long-term fantasy value than Corpusalo does, because as soon as Swayman gets signed, like Corpusalo just becomes a legit backup, whereas Silovs could see a ton more volume even with Demko being in the lineup. What do you think about Markstrom this season? Love him. Absolutely love him. Chadlick then goes Mort Sider. Deacon then picks up Wyatt Johnson, and Yaz gets Connor Hellebuck. So Yaz doesn't have a defenseman yet. Huckle goes Otter. These are some quick picks flying off the board. Timmy finally goes round 4. I'm wondering if people were a little bit hesitant on him after seeing that hit. I think they're just under evaluation right now, but no cause for any major concerns. Yeah, I'm high on Markstrom because I believe that the Devils are going to be a top 10 team this year. And then, like, goaltending has really been their only missing piece. There might be some growing pains early on just because they changed a lot of their lineup. But, like, that just provides more opportunity for people to have buy lows. Thoughts on Logan Cooley? Do you think we will be drafting him inside the top 2 rounds a few years from now? I don't know if it's going to be that soon, Boomtown. I like him as a player a lot. It's just like in fantasy, he's one of those like low shot volume, high point total guys, which doesn't really translate well to most leagues. So then we see Zib go. That's a good pick there. John Carlson's a great second defenseman to grab. Clayton Keller is great value there, round 5. And then Yaz goes Vasilevsky to shore up his goaltending. Still hasn't picked a defenseman yet. Sebastian Aho's good value there, round 5. Jesper Bratt, again, you pair him with Timo Meyer. That's a good stack. Don't mind that. All Cats bangers rather have Dougie or Dobson. That's tough, right? It depends. If it's a points league, it's probably Dobson. And I think categories leagues, I think I'd rather Dobson as well. Dougie still provides a lot of like risk with his injury history. But again, he could contest Yossi for most shots from a defenseman. So Svetch dropped to round 5. Wow, I thought he was gone already. I would have taken Svetch like 2 rounds ago. Hyman fell as well. Yeah, I'm taking Svetch before, like, probably before Wyatt, or Zib, before Keller, before Brad, before Aho. Offield's fine in this spot. Skinner is your first goalie, solid. Barkov. Again, you can take a centerman there because Jack Hughes has dual eligibility. Adrian Kempe, again, like a guy that I think should have been taken a little bit ago. It's just like we're seeing a lot of these. Excuse me, guys, it's a little bit under the weather, but seeing a lot of these guys fall because of the run on defensemen. Goalies went way too quick in my draft, taking round 3. Talking round 3 was the start. I waited until round 11 to get Markstrom, round 15 to get Lundgren. If you got Markstrom round 11 in any league, that's a steal. Corpy as my third goalie right now. Should I drop him for Sheelovs? No, you're good. Like, Corp's going to be much more valuable early on in season, but Sheelovs I think will just hold more value from a long-term perspective. Steven Stamkos is a great pick there. Surprised he fell as well. Who's leading after 5? I'll do a recap after round 6. It's tough to tell like who's leading because I think you need to like look at like the entire team as a whole. Kreider, great pick. Especially in round 6, I like it. Dahlin, Huge, Dunn, going to be a killer trio. We'll see what we'll see what Dunn is like this season. I think like Seattle's just splitting their power play. So I don't really think it makes a difference if you're grabbing Montour or if you're grabbing Vince Dunn. They're going to be roughly the same value. Matheson's a good pick. It's likely he starts power play 1. It's a good second D to take. Swayman, okay. I don't know if I would have taken him this early, like round 6, but he fell to me like round 9 in the Creators League. So I'm curious. I'm curious. Faber, Trocheck. Trocheck's good value there as your second C. Remember, guys, there is the utility spot. Lettermacky won't make the team this year, but if you're in a dynasty, he'll probably be in the show next year. Yeah, I like him. He looked good in camp. Damn, I totally thought the draft started an hour late. Rip. Emon. Oh, you're in now? Okay. Honestly, man, like, your team is not... I don't think it's, like, bad. Like, it could be a lot worse. Like, you have Yossi. You got double elite goalie. You've got Eichel, Caulfield, Barzell at this point. Like you can cook in the next like 7 or 8 rounds. So I'll keep an eye on you. Hits and blocks, Cat League. Do I drop Tarasenko for somebody like Jack Quinn, Tolvanen, or Zetterlund? So I have Tolvanen in a pretty similar league like that. I like him a lot, but I also like Zetterlund, probably maybe Zetterlund. I'm not high on Tarasenko this year. Pasta or Rantanen? Pasta. Pasta should almost always go before Rantanen just because of the shot volume. Kairu, that's good. It's a good pick, round 7. Olmark, okay. As your first goalie, I like that. Eric Carlson, Jake Sanderson. Yep. Some good second D. Okay, Seth Jarvis, I like that pick a lot. Had the 7th pick, took Rantanen, and then took a Darlene Hughes after that. One of them was gone by round 3. It's a good start. Matheson and Werenski in FPPL settings. They're pretty close. I think I want to say Werenski. No, Matheson. I think Matheson. Just he's probably a little safer. Tippett, love that pick. Okay, Habibi on the clock here. Hasn't taken a goal yet. I wonder if he considers it here. Letang. Who's doing the best? I like Sharky's draft a lot. Rinkrats is also pretty good. Anyone else early? I'd say Arbor, but I think he needs another defenseman. I like his forwards a lot, though. Jeek, it's a good pick. Puck went heavy on the D. Yaz got some good forward mix. Doesn't have a defenseman yet. We'll see how that plays out for him. Was actually targeting Eichel in round 4, so that worked out perfectly. Yep. Eichel's good in that spot. What's the official ruling on the Creator League? What do you mean? Oh, we just decided to play as is. Blub, like the pause thing just kind of happened and there wasn't really much like any of us could do about it. Like Don kind of just made that decision in the moment. I think it's the earliest we've seen Seth go in FPPL. Yeah, I was surprised that somebody took him before guys like Jake and EK and Letang, especially. I think he was dropping a lot in drafts. Do you think he's still a 10 to 12 pick? Yes. I think I'm taking him before Kaprizov. Like I'm so curious as to like why so many people are. Is it because people think Kaprizov has like less injury risk? Like roughly the same shot volume. Like Hughes has been better than Kaprizov in terms of shot volume. I think he has legit like 120 point upside if he stays healthy. Faded goalies in cat leagues have Kochekov and Decord Kopersalo. Yeah, you're good, Johnny. Suzuki sliding? Yeah. Yeah, I it's not that he's bad. It's just he doesn't really have a crazy shot volume or peripherals. How was my road trip to Seattle? It was good, Dan. Thank you for asking. It's just it's been tough kind of catching up. Like I came back, had a 7 a.m. flight. Been jet lagged, been sick. It's been a rough recovery from that. Fantasy points league, who should I take at pick 8? Any backup plan? Pick 8, you want Makar or Rantanen is safe. If one of the top 6 fall to you, then you take one of those guys. If Makar and Rantanen go, yeah, you just take a top 6 guy. All right, so then we've got a run-on of some good forwards here in Slavkovsky and Fiala. JT is a great pick as your first C. Tuck, I just don't know how I feel about Tuck. I'm not on him this year. I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but I just don't know how I feel about him overall. DeBrincat's a good pick there. Same with Nuge, that's good value. Vetrano it's a little early for me with Vetrano. I think you probably could have waited like 2-3 rounds to get him. Marchessault. Hannafin finally goes. Suzuki. Thoughts on Lucas Raymond for this upcoming season? I'm curious to see if he can repeat the goal total he had. Taves, love Hagel in that spot. Yeah, like I'm taking Hagel before Marchessault, before Suzuki, before Vetrano, probably before Nuge as well. Besser, I don't like. Low shot volume, high shooting percentage forward from last year. He's got good shooting talent, but Theodore, again, I don't know how I feel about Theodore. I think he should be power play 1. I would be surprised if he isn't. Justin Falk's a great pick there. So now Chadlick has his 4 defensemen. I am worried about his forwards, though. He's got like 190 plus point forward. Whereas you look at a guy like Arbor Matheson, where he's got like 2, maybe 3. Like Stud Muffin's got 3. 3 of those guys could be around 100 points. So I'm curious. Let's see what Bruin does here. He could take he goes Paterka. Okay, yeah, round 9 Paterka seems to be the standard. Isher's a good pick there as your second C. Segel's still worth picking up. I really hope he's power play 1. I think at some point in the year he's going to be on power play 1. Is it ever good to roll with 6 defensemen in a points league with 4D and 2 utility spots? When it comes to utility spots, I almost always want to fill them with forwards just because typically they score higher in terms of points within your league. So Yossi, Dobson, Ghost, Sanderson, Matheson, Gustafson. You can probably drop Gustafson for a forward. Uses rank 5 in my projections, assuming 82 games. As long as whenever Jack Hughes is healthy, he's a top 5 fantasy asset. He is legitimately, like, you'll see in the video tomorrow where I go over it, but he produces like a McKinnon. I got Matthews, Patterson, Bratt, Svech, Konechny, Tage, Dahlin, Carlson, Sanderson, Paterka, Fantilli, and Velarde. It's good. It's a good team. Okay, so we get Paterka off the board, then Hischier, then Vince Dunn finally goes to Luke's team. Sharky is up. I'm curious as to why it's Sharky 3 and not just Sharky. Unless Sharky has like 3 other teams that he's doing. But I love his pick in Elias Lindholm for his second center. I think round 10, that's good value. I'm going to hit some blocks Cats League. Should I drop Kraus for somebody like Tolvanen or Zetterlund? It's tough. Basically, what I've seen out of camp is that Tolvanen's not on either power play, which I'm really upset about because I drafted him in my $100 buy-in league because it's a Bangers Pims league, and he had over 200 hits last year. Zetterlund, I'm curious about. He should be top 6. And Kraus, I'm curious about because, if he's not top 6, then he's just, in the same situation as Tolvanen. So I would just keep an eye and see whichever one you like. It also depends on who they're playing with. Like, if Kraus is playing with, like, let's say he's on a line with Cooley and Genther, I'm totally good with keeping Kraus. Kemper's a good pick there for your first goalie, Habibi. Like, you've been clearly listening to the stream. I'm surprised Georgiev fell to round 9. I'm surprised, like, UPL went before Georgiev. Where is Suzuki? I don't think he just went at the beginning of round 9. Brian Rust. Okay. Sure. Again, we're getting into some later picks here. Kochekov's good kind of like double goalie strat. I'm okay with that. So everybody, for the most part, has at least 3 defensemen except for Bruin, Luke. Rinkrats has only had 2 as well. And Yaz just completely punted defensemen entirely. And the thing is, like, I'm fine with that strategy if you find value in forwards. I just don't know if he's found any value in forwards with, like, the last 2 picks he's made. Like, Nuge and Besser, I'm just not huge on. Like, I would have taken Hagel before Nuge. It's not that Nuge is bad. Like, it's not that that's a bad pick, but it doesn't excite me. But if he plays with McDavid, like, I think he'll be fine. I love the Lafreniere pick here. Really don't have any other wingers. Like, Jarvis is dual eligible. Hughes is dual eligible. So getting Laff at left wing, right wing is pretty valuable. Brant Clark, I mean, is your fourth defenseman, sure. I think it's a little early for him, though. Somebody reached on him pretty heavy in the Creators League last year. Oh, you put Sharks with, like, the little W face, but Yahoo took the colon out. That's funny, Caden. I was going to say the difference between Cap and Hughes is that Cap has reached close to 100-point mark before, whereas Hughes needs to prove he's there. Definitely has the potential. Hughes had 99 points 2 years ago. Chris. 99 points. I had a bet. I remember because I had a bet with one of my league mates that Hughes would hit over 100 points. And he hit 99, so I didn't get the money. Like the ghost pick as your third D, especially in a draft where a lot of defensemen have gone. I drafted Tage round 2 and Team round 5. Do you think they'll bounce back? No, I love both of them this year, Johnny. Should 1 and 2 D teams be nervous right now? I wouldn't be confident. Okay, Deacon goes with his third goalie here. That's interesting. I guess he's a little bit worried because of Swayman. Sorokin is skating and is taking pucks, so I wouldn't be too worried about his injury. Oh, it's me. You're in the draft. Sharky looks great. Yeah, I like his team. I like that because he got Kaprizov, Jack Hughes, he then understood that he could go defenseman back to back because, like, you're just so far ahead at that point because of what fell to you. He's done a really good job of catering to the way that the draft has played out. Lucas Raymond, Mate Michkov, Drake Batherson. I'd probably take Batherson before both of them. I'm really high on Michkov this year, though. Landeskog, good player. Only hearing him as a late pick this season. He's a really good player when he plays. It's just there's obviously some risk associated to him with his injury that he could just come back, play a couple games, and be like, yeah, like I can't do this. Guys, there's 100 of you in here. Please hit that like button if you can. Apologies if it's a little bit low energy right now. I've just, again, been feeling a little bit under the weather. This draft feels really slow, so I'm trying to do my best to look at chat. But if you guys could leave a like, that'd be very much appreciated. Really helps us grow the channel. All right, so we see Thomas Harley go as your third D. That's pretty solid. Aiden Hill, Rupe Hintz is really good value this late, round 11. Like, I think there's a circumstance where we go back at the end of the year And if Rupe hits puts up more than 35 goals, like he could just be a league winner. Like he's just like one of those league winners that just for whatever reason fell under the radar, and because he's got like kind of meh peripherals, he doesn't really like grade out really well in most formats, especially this one. So I think that's why he's kind of fallen a little bit. Binner. Interesting that Yaz went with another goalie when he has two elite starters. I don't know if I like that. I would have taken Nietzsche there in a heartbeat, especially because I think he's like he like why not take a defenseman there? Like why are you taking a third goalie? I don't understand that one. My league mates in my main money league will regret letting Elias Lindholm fall to me at 187. Yeah, it's great value. What do you think about Point and Gensel stack? I would much rather have a Point and Kucherov stack, but it looks like they're running the top line. They're loading up the top line. Like tonight in their preseason game, their top line is Gensel, Point, Kucherov. So that could go absolutely insane. Didn't realize that Jack had 99 points. I'm surprising he's never played 82 games in a season, though. Yeah, that's always been the concern with him, Chris. And I mentioned in my video tomorrow that, you know, it's incredibly, like, reminiscent of the way that McKinnon was, where he's always putting up these massive point totals. He's just never played a full 82. And then all of a sudden, when he does, he puts up, like, over 120 points. Right. What I think of Stankoven this season, I think there's better options. He will be in the Calder conversation. I just don't know what his outlook is like from a fantasy standpoint. I need to see more of him on a game-to-game basis. Let me pull him up. Like, I don't get excited about him because I don't think he's going to be a top 6 player. Whereas you look at a guy like Michkov, for example, like he should be. But I mean, 14 points in 24 games is good. 51 shots is good, and then he had 20 hits, so he's like around a hit a game. Like he could be very valuable. The other issue with him is that he's only center eligible. I'd like him a lot more if he was like dual eligible. And because you can get guys like Bo Horvat in round 11, it's like why would I ever want to draft Stankoven over a guy that I know that can score 30 goals? You rank through C goalies from best to worst: Korpisalo, Gustafsson, and Seelovs. I think in terms of like goaltender quality, Gustafsson's at 1, Seelovs probably at 2, Korpisalo at 3. Fantasy's probably a little bit different because, like I said earlier, I think Korpisalo gives you much more value in the early stages of the season. Gustafsson will be interesting. He's such a boomer bust for me. Okay, so we see Luke Hughes finally go off the board. Horvat, Robert Thomas. These are good late round center value picks. I'm curious to see what when all is said and done, would it have been better to take like an Elias Lindholm or a Heischer in round 9 or a Horvat or a Thomas in round 11? Lane Hudson goes off the board to Sharkey for his third defenseman. That's a little bit risky, in my opinion. Like, on the off chance that he gets sent down to the AHL, you've basically just shot yourself in the foot. Ehlers is a good pick there. I'm very curious to see how he does this season. Yeah, like Jared McCann. Excuse me. Jared McCann's a solid pick there. Should be another 30-goal season for him. Dual eligible. Drafted Jamie Benn round 11. Hope he's good. Igor at pick 29. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, anywhere in the third round for an elite goalie is fine. What do I think of Matheson this year? I like him a lot. Interesting take on that C comment. Suppose it depends what you're grabbing in the 8th round. Yeah, again, like it's like, would I rather go Lindholm, get Lafreniere, and then Lane Hudson, or would I rather go, Peterka, Michkov, and then Horvat or Robert Thomas? So I'll be curious once everything's said and done. Guys, there's 116 of you, 124 of you in here. Please leave the like button if you hit that like button if you haven't already. This is the last FPPL draft of the season. And then you guys will be able to see the progress of each draft individually if you go to fantasypuck.net. You get to see every single one of the teams, what the placement is, what players. It'll be cool. We'll be updating you guys periodically as we go through the season. And if you guys haven't joined Discord already, please click the link in the description down below. Join our fantastic fantasy hockey community of over thousands of members that just talk fantasy hockey all day. We have different rooms for things like trade suggestions, questions related to fantasy, start sit options, basically everything that you guys need to know about fantasy hockey. There's a channel for you in the Discord to ask questions. Gabe Velarde's a great pick by Sharky. Rink Rat's third defenseman is Rasmus Anderson. It's a little bit risky, but blocks are count as one, as you can see by the scoring. Strokin going way too late in drafts. He was properly taken here. Yeah, I think just beforehand there was a little bit of concern with his injury, and now that he's back to skating and taking pucks, I think he should be good. Also, I just realized there's a 1-minute delay on this guy, so I apologize. It's kind of scrambling to get this stream up, so apologies that I can't directly integrate with chat. Hints went very late in this, Adam. I agree. Drew Doughty, yeah, it's good. It's good stash. Nichushkin, that's a good stash as well. I don't know why I have my headphones on. I don't think I need them on right now for any reason. Jake DeBrusk. Aaron Ekblad. We'll see if Yaz finally takes a defenseman. He does not. He goes Patrick Kane. He hasn't drafted a defenseman, and he has 5 picks left. Crazy. Cam Talbot as your second goalie. I don't know how I feel about Detroit, to be honest with you. At least their goaltending situation. Thatcher Demko finally goes. Okay. I mean, round 12. Byfield into Fantilli. Love those. Trevor Moore. So I'm curious what Puckheads does here. He's got 4 defensemen. He's got 2 goalies. He should probably just start taking some sleeper picks and taking some lottery picks. I should also move my camera. Apologies for that. No, we're still okay right now, actually. Next round, we'll have to. Jeremy Lauzon as your 5th defenseman. Alex Pietrangelo as your first D. Okay. Deacon goes Jake Neighbors. That's a pretty good pick. See what Chatlick does here. Nazem Kadri's great late round value there. And like Chadwick doesn't have a legit C, so that's a great pick. Cam York's a great pick there. Like, I'm probably taking, if I'm Yaz, I'm definitely taking Cam York before Petro. Actually, I don't know, because I think Drysdale will be the power play 1D. Let's see what Luke does here. He's got 4D. Goes Buchnevich. That's a good pick. He's got a stack with him and Robert Thomas. Unless, of course, they... Actually, I think I've seen Buchnevich on, like, line 2. Because they've been playing Jake Neighbors on that top line. Trouba's a good pick. I honestly maybe would have taken Trouba before Petro there. If I'm Yaz. Forsling's interesting. I'm not high on him anymore, given the fact that we know that Boquist is the PP1 guy. I will now move my... Wait, I should move my camera. Apologies, guys. I'm going to try and just sneak into the top here. Apologies. Not liking Yaz team. Yeah, we'll see. Shifley, good late value there. That's your second like pure center. Crosby, Shifley. And Toffoli's interesting. I again, not sure. Not sure about him. But he could be a good pick just because he has a good shot volume and has scored a pretty good rate. Respect you guys for doing these live and all these content. Best Fantasy Hockey channel. Appreciate you, Ray. Appreciate you being here, man, and showing some support. Currently gold level in fantasy. I think I can get diamond level if I win my 3 drafts this season. Yes. Yeah, the rating in Yahoo means absolutely nothing to me, but it's just based off whether or not you win. So, like, if you're in keeper leagues and you're tanking, like, there's chances where, like, your rating just goes down because of it. FP0G guide when? I mean, Jared, like, we've done a ton of mocks. We've done a ton of streams. We've been pretty adamant on the fact that it's like, you know, if you do want to punt goalies, it's a good strategy. If you look at the Creators League last year, like, almost everybody did that. I'm confused. I'm mid-draft on ESPN and there's no dual eligibility. Is it just forwards and defensemen, Sav? Or is everybody literally just one position? This is why we don't draft with ESPN. Like, they just don't care about, like, updating player positions and stuff like that. Kochekov or Korpi for the start here. I think Kochekov has more upside. I think Korpisalo might get you more value early on. Which is wild to say, but I'm picking Kochekov every time there. All right, so Toffoli, Nelson's good late value as your second centerman. Zook. Actually, like, I haven't seen Nelson on any of the power. This is what the Apples and Gino guys were saying. Like, apparently Nelson hasn't been on Power Play 1 at all. Corby's a good pick there for your second G. I wonder if he goes C-Lobs with the term. Just gets both. Mark Stone. Interesting. Adam Boquist is good as your fifth defenseman. Yaz is punching air right now. Is there dual eligibility on ESPN? I don't know, man. It depends on your league settings. I'm assuming there should be. Jordy Cord is your second goalie. He's pretty solid. Cutter Gauthier, I like. Somebody that I've been actively looking at. Jacob Chikrin is your second. That's pretty good. That's all right. Arturi Lehkonen. It's a good stash. Sad, there's a 1 minute delay, so I apologize, buddy, if I can't like get to your question immediately. I didn't realize there was a 1 minute delay on this, so it's my bad. Normally, I would have just done 30 seconds for an FPPL draft as I'm commentating. Teasing you about 0G. You're good, Jer. You're good. Sam Bennett into Freddie was still available? Guys, what are we doing? Guys, what are we doing? Corpy, Decord, like Demko, Talbot, Ingram, Jari, all before Freddie? And Rinks went and like Rasmus Anderson over Freddie when he could have the stat. That's what is happening? That's crazy to me. That is insane. First time I'm doing fantasy hockey. I have the last pick in 10-person league. Who should I target at the turn? I would look for Kirill Kaprizov, Jack Hughes, Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk. If Makar is there at 10, you take Makar, and then you take one of the guys that I just mentioned. Depends on if you want to go safe or with upside. I actually really like the Wallman pick there, Chadlick. Pavel Zacha is PP1 with Lindholm and Pasternak for Boston. Yeah, he's probably playing on their line too. Like line as well, not line 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Byfield dual eligible, showing dedicated right wing now? Yeah, I think they're going to play him at center, Paradox. So he will get dual eligibility. Dustin Wolf is fine. Again, just going with some volume starters. Patrick Laine is a good late round pickup there. I like that. Freddie's solid for those first 10 games before injury. He's so good if he's healthy. He's so good. And the only reason why we've been pumping Kochekov so much is because he is such an injury risk. But I'm still taking him before any of the goalies I just mentioned. Would you rather Decord or Monty? Decord. Appreciate you, Chris. Thank you, man. We're here to give you guys some good content. I'm excited for the video tomorrow. Hopefully you guys like it. You guys have been going nuts with the support lately. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate all of you. At home goes. I'm gonna guess. Like, wait, doesn't Luke already have 4D? Yeah, I guess he's worried that if, like, Lark isn't the guy, then he needs a fourth defenseman. A noon in this late is good value. Kopi, sure. I wonder when the age curve's gonna catch up to him. ESPN reset all the players to single positions only. It's unclear when they will add position this season. Yeah, this is why we don't use ESPN, guys. Took Darlene 14, Point 27, Tage 54, Stutzel 67, Riley, Gustafson, Slav, Ghost, and Barzell. On ESPN, it's a solid team. Counts Pims, like Darlene's a great pick. In a 20-team league, and Yoshi McCarr got taken right before me. Yeah, I think you're good, Mitch. Like, Darlene's really good in Pims leagues. I think you're solid. Does Hill play a lot this year? I think he's the starter, but there's, again, like some injury concern there, chicken. Parayko, Landeskog, Skinner. Yeah, I like Parayko as like your 50 option. Skinner. Celebrini. Yeah, he left the game injured, but you can stash him. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Cousins is a good pick there. Could be a big bounce back. I like Brady Shea in that spot too. I probably like Shea before guys like Atcombe, Wallman, Byram, Nurse, Chikrin, Petro, Lozon, Forsling. Jack Quinn's a great pick there. Really high on Darlene and Cats leagues, as you should be. Prediction for most points this season: McKinnon, McDavid, or Kucherov, or Forsberg. I think McDavid. It's not close. McDavid's had the most points in like 8 of the last 9 seasons. The only other players that have had more points in a season than McDavid in the last like 8 years has been Kucherov. He's done it twice. So my money's on McDavid. Shabbat. Okay, so Yaz picks up his 4 defensemen. None of them power play 1. Pionk. Solid. Count blocks. Philip Gustafson, sure. Yeah, that's 3 solid, albeit risky goalies, but you get them late in your draft. Tom Wilson, Askarov as your third goalie is fine. He should get a ton of volume. Malkin's a good late pick there. Have York as my D5 in a 12-team points league. Boquist available in FA. Things we're dropping from. If you count blocks, Paradox, I'd much rather have York. Like, I'm just so curious as to what type of peripherals we're gonna get out of Boquist. Like, he shouldn't be anything more than like a D5. Montembeau. Let's see what Bruin does here. Could go another center if you wanted to be honest with you. Because of the utility spot. Like, it's just JT and Cousins that are his only pure Cs. Boone's dual eligible. Tage is, Miller is. Evander Kane, interesting. Don't know how I feel about that one. I guess it's a stash. Yeah, I don't know. You can just pick somebody up, though. Tyler Bertuzzi. Have we seen McTavish go yet? Don't think so. People are sleeping on my picks, guys. I don't know how I feel about it. Charlie Lindgren. Okay. Yeah, as your third G. Claude Giroux, I don't know how I feel about that one. And then I don't think the last one ever registers, guys, so we might not even... Oh no, Habibi will make his pick here, and then we'll see. This would be a good opportunity to... All right, draft complete. Yeah, so for whatever reason, it doesn't like to... Let me just snip this really quick, guys. Sorry. What is this, southeast? Okay. All right, so let's review the teams really quick here, because I know that's what you guys want. Standings has Ya ranked as number 1. Yeah, I don't trust Yahoo rankings at all. Gopinair in 32nd. My team favors goals. Could he potentially 40 again? I think he could, chicken. All right, so let's see. McDavid, Gensel, Marner. It's a pretty good start. Sergachev as your D1. Sure. Zib. Ovi, Boldy. I like your forward so far. Hannafin as your D2 is fine. Not super high on him, but if he's the Vegas power play 1. Suzuki, Harley, Hill, Byfield, Fantilli, Bennett, Freddie, Hronik, and Gustafson. It's a pretty good team. Stud has McKinnon, J-Rob, Hedman, Stützle, John Carlson. It's a pretty good start. You're pretty set at defenseman already. Trocheck's a good pick. Peter, thank you so much for participating, man. Love to have you in here. Sorry, I needed to sneeze, guys. Where was I? Bob, Marchessault, Taves, Batherson, Hintz, Demko, Moore, Lehkonen, Seelovs, Yonk. Matthews, Forsberg, Dobson, Otter for pucks to start off. So he goes one in each position pretty much, which is fine. I don't mind Dobson as your D1. I like Dobson as your D1 a lot more than like Morrissey or Sergachev. Keller, Faber, Jones. That's early for Seth, in my opinion. I think you probably take a forward there instead. But then you go for Toronto. It's early for Toronto, round 8. I like the Hagel pick, like the Mitchkov pick. Burns, Talbot, Lauzon, Ben, Coleman. I don't like that pick at all. What? Hurdle, I don't know either. And then Askarov. You had a good start. I didn't like the tail end of your draft, Puck, especially with Ben. Like, going like your last like 5 picks. I'm not a fan of. Yaz is the one that punted defenseman. Didn't even take a 5th D either. Just went Malcolm with his last pick. But I don't like his forwards, to be honest with you. Like, past a Panarin Point is solid. You then take 2 good goals. If you've made the conscious decision to like punt defensemen, I don't agree with taking 2 elite goalies. I think 1 is fine because you're missing out on value. Like, if this is Sebastian Aho, like your team looks infinitely better. For Higgy, Larkin, Nuge, Besser, Raymond, Bennington, Kane, and then the 4D. We'll see how it turns out. Deacon, Draisaitl, Pettersson, Fox, Wyatt, Aho is a great start. You take the chance on Swayman round 6, which I think is a little bit early, and then you kind of jam yourself into taking another goalie in Sorokin because he's there, which I don't think is fine. But again, like, you have Sorokin Wall. So I would have much rather, like, if you take over here, I think you're in such a better position. If Swayman dropped to like round 9, then I think that's a good enough spot to take him. I think 6 is a little too early for me. But your D are Fox, Theodore, Ekblad, Byram, Gustafsson. That's not bad. It's not great, but Nietzsche's, Neighbors, Gauthier, Nyquist, your forwards are solid. Chalik has a pretty ideal start in Makar, Willie, Timo. I think I would have waited on taking Sider here and taken another forward. Like, I'm hammering Tim Stutzlo here. Again, I mentioned this before. Like, you don't have a player on your team that gives you any type of 100-point upside now. You have a lot of floor guys, but just not a really upside team. I do like the Kyrou pick. Not sure about Tuck this year. Falk's good. Marchand that late is good. Jari's fine as your first goalie. Just a volume pick. DeBrusque is good. Kadri's good late value. Wallman. Like, the rest of your draft is good. I think you lack upside early on, which is tough. I'm going to try and speed through this. Kucherov, Miller, Tage, McAvoy, Svetch, Matheson. That's a good start. Olmark is your first goalie's fine. Tavares, Paterka, Ghost. Luke Hughes is a great value in the mid rounds. Luke Hughes is a good stash. Justin's a good stash. I think you went a little bit too early on your stashes. You could have waited a couple rounds. Jenner, Boquist, Fox, or Wolf, excuse me, Fox, Cousins, Evander. I'm curious about the Evander pick. I'm not sure what that is. This is the auto draft. So Panthers, I think, got in around round 6. So he took Barzell. So this is where he started drafting. Like, his start actually wasn't terrible, if you think about it. He's got an elite defenseman. He's got Jack Eichel, who's got some upside. He's got Caulfield with a good shot volume, could score 40. And he's got 2 elite goalies. So then he goes Barzell, EK. Love the Fiala pick here. Love the Heischer pick. Montour, who knows. Love the Horvat pick. Doughty, again, is a stash. You took a chance on him. That's good late value for you, especially given your draft. Cam York, again, is like your 4th, 5th defense. Mark Stone, Lion Shea. So you're really hoping on your stashes picks really panning out for you, but not a terrible draft. Luke, Randon, Bouchard, Reinhardt, Bedard, Skinner, Kreider, Sanderson. It's a pretty good start. You get Slav too. You get Dunn. Clark's super early there. Robert Thomas, Gunther, Buchnevich is good late to mid value. Corpy is a great pick. Ekholm, Arvidsson, Lindgren, again, solid. Sharkey, I think I like Sharkey's team the most. Kaprizov, Hughes is just such an insane start. Like, they could both be 100-point, 300-plus shot, 40-goal guys. And then you get Morrissey, Dougie, two very good, like, defensemen. And then you get Barkov on top of that. So you've just slammed, like, and then Markstrom and Jarvis. Like, that's probably one of the better first 7 picks I've seen. Like, you don't have an elite defenseman, but you have 2, like, 1A defensemen, if that makes sense. UPL, again, great pick. Lindholm, great pick. Laugh, great pick. Lane, I think it's too early for him there, but Gabe's a great pick. You come back with Trouba again to give yourself some insurance, which I think is good. I'm curious about his usage this year, so he might see a lot of his peripherals drop. Zook, Noonan, Celebrini, Dursey. Good way to end off your draft there. I think that's fine. I don't like the Dursey pick necessarily, but I think you could have went a little bit more like lottery ticket upside just to end off your draft. Rinkratz also had a really strong pick, or draft, excuse me. Matty Tkachuk, Quinn Hughes, Zach Hyman, Kyle Connor, Miro Heiskanen. I think you could have waited a bit on Heiskanen and taken another forward here just because you have Quinn Hughes. Stammer's a good pick. Tippett's great. Jeek is great. You get 2 good goalies in Georgiev, Kochekov. Ehlers is good late value. Anderson, Forsling. And then Nelson's great late. Kopitar's great late. Skinner's great late. I don't like Giroux at all. And Habibi also had a really strong draft when Brady, Dahlin, Crosby, Uyghur, who grades really well in this type of format because of his peripherals. We'll see how Calgary's power play is this year, but Kempe's great round 5. Riley's again a good D3 option, so you've solidified yourself pretty early here. Connect me. I don't like how heavy you're now going in defenseman. Like, I think in these mid rounds you could have, like, you don't need to take Letang here. You could have grabbed a forward. Like, I would have loved a Slavkovsky or a Fiala here. Kemper is good for your first goalie if you're deciding to go with a 0G. Rust is fine. Again, I would much rather somebody like Lafreniere, Marchand, even at this point, Michkov, Batherson, one of those guys. McCann's good value there. Again, I would have rathered an upside guy like Genther. Ingram's fine. Scheifele's great value later on. Toffoli, we'll see. I think he, like, I want to say better than, I'm leaning on the side of he'll be good more than he'll be bad. Pareko's a good D5. Gabe's a good late round stash. So overall, very curious. I'm curious to see how Yaz team's going to happen to pan out. I'll answer some questions, then I'll take off, guys, just because I am a little bit under the weather still, and I still need to record tonight for another video. Appreciate you guys chilling. Leave a like before you take off, but let me just hammer through some questions here. How do you feel about Bedard, Boldy, Caulfield, rounds 4, 5, 6? I think those are great picks, Michael. I'd be confident in Bedard and Boldy and Caulfield, to be honest with you. I actually love all 3 of those. Pick up Gudis in this league for the block points. Gudis is more of a hit volume guy, brother. Lucas, Raymond, or Barzal in the league that counts points, hits, pims, shots. Probably Barzal. He's also dual eligible center right wing. What do you think about Jones and Falk as D4 and 5? I think that's fine. Hypes. Does FB have plans to do any live streams during the season? Yes, we're going to try and... It's been a topic of discussion, Paradox. We're going to try and integrate more live content. Like, we might start doing our weekly previews as live streams, which I think will be a fun idea. So stay tuned to that. We'll see. It's in discussions right now. Is Kane's tandem or Kemper and the extra... Kane's tandem or Kemper in the extra spot? Kane's tandem... It depends on your league. If your categories, I think Kane's tandem. If your points, you want volume, so Kemper. Content has been great, so I'm just curious. Appreciate you, Paradox. Yeah, my plan is basically be in the race and hope Downey Line can come back. Yeah, that's exactly... I like that plan, even. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. This is the last FPPL stream. Again, you'll be able to see these things happen live as they progress through the season on our website, fancypuck.net. Thank you so much for watching. Again, leave a like before you take off. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. So, have a good one. Appreciate you guys coming.